Hi there, welcome back. On today's episode of Doug's Music Fun, I'd like to discuss a couple of jazz albums, Dexter Gordon's Gotham City and Wayne Shorter's Night Dreamer. Welcome to Doug's Music Fun. Yeah, fun! Dexter Gordon's Gotham City was a later effort of Gordon's, recorded in 1980 and released by Columbia in 1981. In 1980, Gordon was once again named DownBeat's Musician of the Year and was also inducted into the Jazz Hall of Fame. Gordon, Art Blakey, and others are credited with bringing back acoustic-based jazz after the fusion jazz era that saw an emphasis on electronic instruments. The tracks on Gotham City are High Fly, written by the pianist Randy Weston, A Nightingale, sang in Berkeley Square, written by Eric Maschwitz and Manning Sherwin, The Blues Walk, Loose Walk, written by Clifford Brown, also known as Loose Walk, recorded by Sonny Stitt, both gentlemen having the credit for writing the song, and then the album ends with a Gordon-penned Gotham City. The lineup on Gotham City includes Dexter Gordon on tenor saxophone, George Benson, electric guitar on High Fly and Gotham City, Woody Shaw, trumpet on The Blues Walk, Loose Walk, Cedar Walton on piano for all songs, Percy Heath on bass, and Art Blakey on drums. Of course, this is an excellent tight rhythm section of Blakey, Heath, and Walton. Heath's bass has a nice fat sound on this recording. Blakey, of course, swings hard as usual, and Walton provides well-chosen counter melodies and chords to Benson's guitar chords when he's not rollicking through his own solos. The opening track, High Fly, was inspired by pianist Randy Weston's height, being 6 feet 8 inches tall. Given Gordon's 6 foot 6 inches height, they are certainly tall birds of a feather in that regard. I don't think that's probably why Gordon liked the song. He probably liked it for the music, but it's interesting trivia. George Benson introduces the song with an 8-bar phrase, and of note is that this was the 4th year after Benson had made it to #1 with his album Breezin' and This Masquerade. As David Yearsley notes in his article about this album for Counterpunch, the pop music, money, and stardom had done nothing to blunt the guitarist's genius for jazz. After that introduction, Art Blakey escorts the rest of the song in with his famous press roll. Of note is that this was the first time Art Blakey had been on a Gordon record since 1944, when they were both members of Billy Eckstine's big band. A Nightingale, sang in Berkeley Square, is a beautiful ballad. It was written in the French fishing village of Les Lavandeux shortly before the outbreak of the Second World War. It's typically sung in the key of D-flat major by male vocalists such as Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra. The Blues Walk, Loose Walk, showcases Woody Shaw's syncopated trumpet phrases. And Gotham City closes the album. A mid-tempo, barreling barn burner of a song. George Benson's guitar fills and propels this song along with wonderful solos throughout, notably a Percy Heath bass solo that slips and slides along. Also, by the way, the bass on this entire album from a recording perspective sounds excellent. The other album on my turntable recently I'd like to discuss is another legend of saxophone, Wayne Shorter's Night Dreamer. Wayne Shorter died in 2023 and will be missed greatly. At the current stage of my jazz preferences, I appreciate slower harmonic jazz with melodic phrases. Night Dreamer consists of 6 songs that exemplify this well. In Nat Hentoff's liner notes for the record, Shorter explains his more simplistic approach. He notes how prior to this record, his first record for Blue Note in 1964, quote, "My writing had a lot of detail. Now I've been able to pare things down. I used to use a lot of chord changes, for instance, but now I can separate the wheat from the chaff. I don't get any more complicated than I have to, or to put it another way, if I have to get complicated, I do, but only then." In regards to his playing, he relates, quote, "I'm playing more emotionally than I used to. There are fewer passages on being complicated for the sake of being complicated, and that comes from learning to relate your music to life. When you get down to fundamental emotions and relationships, there's no need to rely excessively on technical devices," end quote. All the songs are credited as written by Shorter, though Oriental folk song is also sometimes discussed as a new arrangement of a traditional Chinese song. The songs are Night Dreamer, Oriental folk song, Virgo, Black Nile, Charcoal Blues, and finally Armageddon. The lineup is as follows: Wayne Shorter on tenor saxophone, Lee Morgan on trumpet, McCoy Tyner on piano, Reggie Workman on bass, and Elvin Jones on drums. This is a seminal recording of Shorter, his first appearance on Blue Note after spending years in the Jazz Messengers, refining and honing his composition skills. Personally, I love the first side with the title cut. McCoy Tyner's always wonderful, his crystalline piano flourishes, and then Shorter's commanding tone, marking the broody and dreamy start to the record. Next up is the adaptation arrangement of Oriental folk song, a melody heard first from a commercial as the story goes. As a little shout out to my friend Mike Moody, Derek Trucks did a very nice cover of this on the Derek Trucks Band 2003 release, Soul Serenade. I'll provide a link to that in the description. Then finishing the side is a sweet ballad, Virgo. And honestly, I'm less inclined towards the second side, considering it's primarily blues numbers, and Charcoal Blues doesn't honestly sit well with me. It is, to my ears, an unrestrained repeat of a musical phrase, but I'll admit I do not have very advanced ears when it comes to jazz and understanding the theory and concepts behind it. So it's very likely I'm just missing the point, but that's my impression in any event. The first side alone is worth the cost of admission for me, and I'm glad to have it in my library. So with that being said, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy holiday and look forward to speaking with you in 2024. Maybe I'll have another video out before the new year. We'll see. But take care. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.